The Slim Fast 14-day effect on your New Year's resolution. Day 1, the new year. You want to kick it off with a bang, and you're not just talking about fireworks. Day 14, you're ready to start this year right, looking great and preferably on top.
2 weeks is all it takes to get what you really want. Swap 2 meals a day for Slim Fast protein shakes or bars, get in a 30-minute workout, and stick to a 1,200-calorie diet to lose up to 6 pounds in your first 14 days. Find Slim Fast in a store near you.
You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Project Runway After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Project Runway After Show.
Welcome back, All Stars fans. I'm your host, Emma Kay, and we're doing the finale recap of Project Runway All Stars. Joining me is my amazing co-host.
Hi, everybody. Amanda Fields here. So excited to be back recapping the finale.
Exciting to the bottom three. Can you imagine?
The top three.
Well, yes.
but it is down to the wire. And it is very emotional, as we can see. And I love that not only you and I connected with these collections, but the judges connected emotionally. And I think everyone out there watching did as well, especially knowing now all the designers' stories from their original seasons and their experiences on All Stars. It was just a really good episode, and I was impressed with most of their work.
Well put. But we start off with the episode recapping last week's of what happened. You know, it was to the bottom two with Korto and Chris, and of course, Korto did an amazing job in 1 hour designing, redesigning her, 3 of her looks into one outfit. So she was selected to continue on to the top 3.
And that was nerve-wracking too.
Yes. So the final challenge for the designers is to design a 6-piece collection in only 4 days. So that's in itself nerve-wracking, because I think we've had on Project Runway for the finale, they've given them a week, right?
Well, maybe they give them a week for an additional look
collection
or something. But when they do their final collection, they send them home, back to their hometown.
Exactly.
And they have usually at least a month to complete it, sometimes longer. And I think in some of the earlier seasons, it just depended on when their season ended filming and then when the Fashion Week actually happened. So they would have sometimes even 3 months in between. So it'd be interesting to go back through that and see who had the longest amount of time.
So for, this season, of course, they can't send them back to their hometowns. They have a really neat twist to the story and how what their inspiration will be. And the inspiration for the designers is their own heritage. And, for them they break it down. So Elena is from Ukraine, Seth Aaron is from Spain, and Korto is from Liberia.
Yes.
Alyssa Milano explains to them that, of course, they can't send them to, their own countries to get a feel of their heritage and to design and to sketch.
Although that would have been incredible, amazing. I tried to say incredible and amazing, and I said amazing. It would be amazing.
So instead, they send them to the headquarters of the United Nations in New York to meet the delegates of their own country and to sketch in the UN. So they get inspiration from the delegates and they have to sketch their pieces for the collection in the UN. And, of course, we were all surprised to see this, but the final show to showcase the collection was or will be at the UN. So that was a nice, interesting twist to have it. And we both said, I don't think there has ever been a fashion show.
No, I
in
don't
the
think
UN.
they've ever had a fashion show in the UN, and I think maybe I think we were right, because Alyssa Milano at the end, when she was introducing the fashion show to the people in attendance, I think that she said this is the first time they've allowed cameras in here to film such an event. So anyone out there, tweet us, please. Let us know if we're right or really wrong on this. As always, tweet us. We'll give you our Twitter names at the end.
And if you guys have any comments you want to make, call in, ask us any questions. Make sure to call in 424-256-1729. But the thing that was really touching for me was hearing the stories of the designers, especially some of them that have come to the United States, and the path and the journey that they had to go through to make it over here. Korto has a really touching and strong story, how they had to escape the war. They made it into Canada. She, her family lost everything. So she said a lady from their church paid her way through a fashion school. And she's had an opportunity to go back to Liberia and to do a fashion show and to give back to her community. Elena, same thing. She came here as a young girl and not fitting into United States, and she's from Ukraine. So she's found her niche in fashion. And Seth Aaron, of course, his family is from Spain, but he grew up in the United States, but he feels very strongly attached to the culture and the heritage.
And I really feel like this is such an important part of Project Runway, because they're always saying this is the search to find the next great American designer. Every year, Heidi says that. And I feel like America is, as the cliche goes, the melting pot of the world.
Of course.
And it is important to represent the heritages of all of us, where we've come from, who we are tied to in history. And it's a beautiful way to represent that. And I think, becoming a better representation of who the next American designer is does involve including the rest of the world in that, because you don't want to just think only of America when you're a designer. You have to think globally and think, who will wear this and where can this be successful?
And a lot of the big designers think that they think more on a global scale because they are so stretched out on, to every single part of the world. So when they design, they have to design for the mass, not just for the United States.
Right, exactly.
And, that is a great concept to have, because if you appeal to the mass of the market, then you're probably going to be doing very well. Same way with music and entertainment. If you make it in, internationally, you're going to be a success, because there's so many more people versus just the United States.
More people to appeal to. And I think a lot of people get this sort of misconstrued, because I think some people, when someone says you need to appeal to the masses, you need to appeal to the globe, the whole world, I think some people think that means simple, like a simpler design, when really edgy can appeal to the whole world. You just need to understand how to cater to your customer, because there's a certain group of people that could be your customer anywhere. So once you know who that is and who that niche market is for you, then you can spread that across, certain cities in the world that has that group of people and that following. So anyhow,
but
I went off on a little tangent. But
well, to continue on your tangent,
yes.
I think Europe is more edgy than the United States.
That's true.
And
in a lot of ways.
In a lot of ways, but especially fashion. Europe is ahead, I would say maybe at least 3-4 years in the fashion trend versus the United States.
Yes.
We take after with the
and it's become so popular now
designs,
with street style. All these fashion bloggers and photographers have gone to all the fashion weeks now, and it's very important for people to photograph who is coming in and out of these fashion shows, who, what the street style is like, what people are wearing, even down to the shoes, to the accessories. And even what are people doing with eyeshadow. It's very specific, and I love that. I love that we have access to that now, because I remember years and years ago modeling in different places in the world, and I didn't always have a camera phone, and I didn't always carry a camera around. It was like two separate things. And so I would definitely have a very different Instagram if that existed like 6, 7 years ago, because I was very inspired along the way, and it evolved and changed how I dress, as I'm sure that the pictures are evolving and changing how a lot of women and men out there dress.
Definitely. So to continue on to designers and their sketches, all of them, their sketches looked amazing. But I was thinking, with their sketching and what they were sketching, some people really need to get on that New Year resolution to fit into the dresses.
Oh, and speaking of fitting in dresses, and New Year's resolutions, I think a lot of people out there have started to think about, well, how can I look better in clothes? How can I, be more stylish? Well, obviously, when you have a more in-shape body, you look better in clothes. And with Slim Fast, 2 weeks is all it takes to get what you really want. In 14 days, the only thing higher than your confidence will be your hemline. Girls, this podcast is brought to you by Slim Fast. So I obviously love to wear all sorts of hemlines. And so it is important to think about what you're eating and being healthy and, getting a good workout.
Definitely. And it's really important to know what patterns and fabric and color you choose as well for your design.
And it's also important to know what to avoid. That's like the big thing, what not to wear, as they say.
Exactly.
On that show. Yes, I missed that show. Stacey and Clinton, you will always be right here. Yeah. Okay. I digress. But yes, it's important to know what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And these designers they've stuck to their guns, and they have really kept up with the same sort of thing over and over again. They know their silhouettes very well. But I feel like Elena is the one that has been more afraid than the others. Afraid to step out of her comfort zone. I mean, she's been very successful in a lot of these challenges, but...
Hello.
Hey, it's Korto. What's up?
Hi there.
Oh, we are so excited that you called in.
You sneaked in on us. We were talking about the,
the
sketches.
Oh my god.
Yes. You have to interrupt us, because we will go on and on.
How are you? Thank you so much for calling in.
I'm good. It's hard to watch that stuff over. It's like you live it, and then you come home and you mourn it, and then you have to relive it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well,
so it's hard, especially when
Yeah, obviously, I don't know how everyone else felt watching the show, but I just thought your collection was incredibly beautiful, and it speaks to me not only as someone who wants to go shopping for a dress, but just as a woman in general. It's just effortless beauty, as they said on the show. And every model looked so happy to be wearing it. And it just looked like...
everybody else's model wanted to wear it. That's what's crazy. Like, everybody, every other designer's model was coming to me like, I hope you win. Like, that says a lot,
And when we were going through each one of the looks for the other designers, I think I only wrote down maybe one from each one of the designers that I liked. And when your designs came out, both Amanda and I were like, we love this, I want to wear this, I want to have this. So I'm so disappointed.
It's bad when like Marie Claire is like retweeting your tweets and not the winners. You know what I mean? Like, that is just ridiculous. But it's okay. I mean.
Well, you've definitely had a wonderful showcase on All Stars. You can be proud of all of your work. And I think you gained a much wider fan base and more customers for the future, so you can be really proud of yourself. And, this is one prize in the scheme of things, but really, Korto, you have won the real prize, because everyone is like upset that you didn't win, and we're all going to be flocking to your section of the department store.
Exactly. But I mean, that's what you hope for. It's just, you sacrifice your time, And especially for me, I left my daughter during the summer, and you just feel like it's like a big okie doke. I think the show's going to get a lot of flack just about like credibility, because I think we're all kind of on to them about like the formula. There's a formula for sure.
Yes, and we feel
and you
that.
don't want to feel like you're wasting your time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we were real people with real lives and real emotions. Like, I don't want to waste my time. Like,
And it's
granted, this is like my last time on there. I'll never be on there again, but just for future, anyone watching wants to feel like they're not fighting like a losing battle.
Well, Gail King even said she wants to buy that first gown of yours. I mean, she can't wait to wear it. I hope she really does wear one of your dresses one day. And can you?
Yeah, I'll definitely send her one. I think I only had one person against me, and
but that's the thing
she happens to be married to the executive producer.
Oh, there it is.
But that's
there
the thing
it
is that
I said it.
I was gonna bring it up is when we were watching the judging the towards the end, I didn't see anyone that was against you. So when they said
yeah, she just came out of nowhere with that, and she didn't say it to my face, which I don't respect.
What did she
say it to my face?
What did Georgina
she
say?
Said that besides my first dress, the whole collection was a mess.
She said,
"Really? Are
yeah,
you
that
serious?"
was Emma and I looked at each other and we're like, what? Because
where did that come from?
Because the entire
you have to
collection,
say something negative, so it makes sense.
And
okay,
we thought your collection was the most cohesive. It made sense, and I loved every single thing that came out. Honestly, I think we both did, but especially that
there's politics there. I mean, at the end, every single judge came and said something to me, but Georgina.
Mm-hmm.
They all did. So that said a lot.
And it's sad, but it's reality TV, and doing more and more of these recaps and watching the show, talking to the designers, the actors and the models from the shows that we get to interview, we get to hear the backstory of what happens behind closed doors when cameras are off. And I'm honestly disappointed because people who have true talent are either let go from the shows or from the contest. And
it was definitely like Twilight Zone. It's like, honestly,
you're like, why? Why am I?
Season was like, okay.
And you got like the same thing in your season, right? You were like second place.
Yeah, this is like my third time coming in second. So in their eyes, I'm like second, right? But
no,
you've
you're
asked
first.
me to come back
No.
for all 3 seasons. They've asked me since the very beginning, and I've said no. But it's just like, why you keep asking me to come, and there's not a chance. Like, there's a formula here. Like, no one from Bravo that originates from Bravo has won. And it's always a formula. There's always going to be a Bravo. I always call us the Bravettes. And,
can I be in that group, please? I'm a Bravette.
And it always goes to a lifetimer. You know what I mean? Like, we're kind of brought on to bring on the old fan base. But if you're not going to let us win,
old fan base,
it's like a waste.
And Amanda,
you can go back to all 3 seasons. It's like the same formula. Like,
yes,
come on already.
it's a lifetime.
Amanda mentioned that she said, I think they had the winners picked out before the season. And I said, honey, they had the winners picked out for Project Runway too.
But not back in the day. It wasn't picked out back in the day. It's just
I really feel like when it was on Bravo, it wasn't. I really don't feel like there was like, oh, this person is picked. I really don't.
No, it was organic. It was organic back then, and we're lucky that we could be a part of it, Korto.
And we've noticed.
I'm thrilled to have been a part of that, but now it's like a curse.
Well,
you know what I mean?
but let's just stop for a second, and we want to say real quick, Seth Aaron, we're not haters,
yes.
Okay? Seth Aaron did a good job with what he does. So I'm not trying to bash Seth Aaron. I mean, he's a good designer, and he deserves to be respected and for people to enjoy his dresses. Of course. I mean, I don't want because I can't imagine how he feels with like what people might be saying on Twitter. So I don't, everybody.
I mean, it's hard. I really don't feel like he got to enjoy his win. Like when it was announced.
Yes, I mean.
I really don't feel like he got to enjoy it because I mean, when you have like a whole bunch of designers who are on the show, and a couple of people come to you and say congrats, and the rest are on the loser side. Like it's kind of a blow.
But I don't want to be mean.
But it is what it is.
I don't want to be mean, but I didn't remember Seth Aaron up until like I don't know.
These people already already won their season, so it's like right out the gate, I just felt like it wasn't even right to even bring back winners because they've already had their time. This is about the underdog. That's what people love about All Stars. It's like the underdog gets to come back and like
and prove themselves.
So, like, what fun is it?
Redeem themselves.
Who wants to see a winner win again? Like, I don't know.
It's redundant. That's for sure.
It could have been any one of those winners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, once again, all the designers are great, and some are, good and
I don't know if they're all great.
No, to a certain capacity.
Okay.
To a certain capacity.
Everybody has their own thing, and I think it's kind of unfair. Like, that's one thing. Even though I would make jokes on the show, I never question anybody's design ability. But a lot of designers on there do that, and they have said that. And Seth is one of those people who has openly question someone's design ability. Mm-hmm. And, it is what it is. You do what you do for your customer, and I do what I do. I might not be avant-garde, but at the end of the day, I'll sell you any day because I make realistic clothing for real people.
So, Korto,
and that's what I do. That's my aesthetic.
Can you speak a little bit more on... You won the QVC challenge. Now, are you going to be able to come back on QVC and sell more of your clothes?
Well, that's the whole reason, like, I did that. Like, that wasn't even part of my prize to go on QVC. I actually worked that out on my own. Mm-hmm. Because I wanted them to see that I had buying power. And the dress did sell out in, like, 3 or 4 days, which is awesome.
Wow, congratulations.
So, yeah, that's definitely my goal, to go back and just sell more stuff. And, they get it. I get that woman.
I think that is exactly the right path right now because, of course, it's on television and people know you from TV, and all of us feel like we want a piece of your collection in our closet. So I just applaud that so much, and we just can't wait to see what else is next. Do you have any plans? Yeah. Do you plan to show next month in New York?
I do, it doesn't stop anything. And that's the crazy thing. Like, I'm one of the few, if not the only designer in that group of designers that shows every season at Fashion Week. But I'm a loser, though.
Okay, well, no, you're not.
Wait. And are you going to come back to Palm Springs again in March?
I don't know if I will because I'm going to be like 8 months pregnant.
Oh,
oh my God. I don't think I can even fly. I would love to, though. But
God.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
Congratulations. Yes. See, you have so many great things going on. But
yeah, I'm very. So you have to act surprised next week when you see the reunion.
Okay.
I announced it on the reunion. Everybody listening, just be surprised.
Okay. So tell us.
I announced it on Twitter.
Tell us what you took away from the show, what advice would you give for future designers coming on to either Project Runway or to All Stars?
Or Under the Gun.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not even going to say anything on that one.
Oh, no.
Definitely, the relationships that were formed was really the prize. Like, I really can say, like, not all of us are best friends, but I think out of all of them, maybe 6 of them, like, we're a unit. We support each other, we help each other, and it was really great having them there. Like, had they not been there, and I think I tweeted that, who they were, I couldn't have made it through the last few weeks because it was like, that's when you started to feel like everything was, like, fake. And you need that support group. I think anyone going on this show, don't go on it for the win. Go on it for what you need it for exposure, for expanding your business and your brand, especially if you're from the first 5 seasons. Don't go on there expecting to win. Go on there and take it for what it is, which is great press. I gained about 5,000 Twitter followers, from the show.
Oh, that's really good.
You got to take it for other things. Because if you just go on there for that one thing, you probably split your wrist,
Oh, exactly. Oh. Well, our last question for you, Korto, and we've been debating, some of us have been debating this, but how do you feel about Alyssa Milano hosting for this season? And also, who styles her?
I don't know who her stylist was, but I will say she was a good host. Like, honestly, I felt like it was good to have a real person who wasn't, nipped and tucked and zipped and, it was just good to have a normal person's opinion. And I respect that, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't, I don't feel like with the regular season, like, people think, that, you know, we go to tea and lunch with Tim Gunn and Heidi Klum, and we don't. Like, Alyssa's touchable. We talk on Twitter, and she's like, I'm going to call you after the show's over, and she's real. What you see with her is what you get. And I think that personal side of her is what we all could appreciate. Like, unfortunately, you know, the styling was wrong this season, and people have been so cruel to her. But did y'all catch the Christian Siriano dress that she wore today when she was in the workroom, the purple leather? That was actually one of her best outfits all season. And they didn't even show all of it, but she looked amazing. And I just think, you know, cut her a break. It's not her fault, you know what I mean? But she's just a real girl, and I love her to death. Like, I hope that, you know, she comes back next season.
No, don't.
You know, Korto,
you know, with better budget, she'll get a better stylist. But honestly, I don't care what she wore. I think because of her, like, a lot of stuff kind of happened. You know what I mean? I think she can come in there and really change things for the better.
Do you think that you might be dressing her for some of her red carpet appearances?
I'd love to. You know, at the end, I think I did win her over as a fan. In the beginning, I don't think I had her, but by the end, she got me. And, you know, she was one of those I know for a fact, you know, that she voted for me. You know what I mean?
Well,
she did.
We could, you know what? We should talk about your collection a little bit.
No, we love her. Don't get us wrong. I just, you know, we didn't know who was styling her, and to be a host for, you know,
a show about fashion.
It was just so off. It did not look right on her, and I kind of felt like it was
but you know what it is?
She's
just so petite, you know. And I think when somebody's petite, you have to get petite sizing. She was wearing like regular people's clothing, and that's why it looked like it was like wearing her a lot of times.
So regular like samples from the designers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas, you know, you have Heidi on a regular season. Heidi, if you look at the back of Heidi's outfit, they're like clipped, pinned. She walks backward. Because, I mean, she's used to it now, but look at the first season of Project Runway and tell me what Heidi looked like. And then give Alyssa a break.
Yeah, she said, Heidi said herself she would wear her own clothes.
Yeah, and she looked a hot mess.
But she was cute.
So,
it was
charming. And everything, so.
Yeah.
So let's
Korto, we could talk about your clothes. Let's talk about your collection a little bit because.
But before we get there, let's, you know, tell us what you thought about Chris coming out to support you. Were you expecting him, or did you expect someone else to come out?
No, I thought it was going to be the usual. Everybody comes back and then we get to pick, which was going to be very awkward. And I'm glad they kind of took that part of it out. And they just kind of sent me Christopher because he just got kicked off, and everybody knew that, you know, we were really close. So it was good to have somebody come back that I knew was in my corner, because it was really kind of awkward. Like, even though I was cool with Elena and Seth Aaron, we weren't really like a clique. My clique had been, you know, it was Michael, it was Ari, it was Daniel, it was Melissa, it was Christopher. So it was good to kind of see, like, it was almost like you saw a family member after a long, hard, like, trek through the mountains.
And you know what I loved? What I loved about him coming back was you were able to trust him with, you know, you're like, you're great with chiffon, here's a dress, you make it. Versus, you know, Elena, she's telling Victor, here, you can make the gloves. Really?
Yeah, she didn't really trust him. But lucky for her, he was there because he kind of saved that print outfit for her. He worked it out.
And then Seth Aaron had Jeffrey come back. And
that was just awkward.
I mean, Jeffrey's very opinionated.
I mean, there was a lot of drama that you guys didn't even get to see that was edited out. But
why did they edit it out?
Those two helpers didn't work out as much as it looked like they were.
Okay, so let's talk about your collection real quickly.
First of all, when that first model came out in the yellow and white gown,
beautiful.
I mean, the print that you selected was so beautiful and very well executed. I mean, it takes a lot of skill and the right eye to understand a print and how to manipulate it properly on the dress and to drape it just right. And it just looked completely effortlessly. It flowed.
Yeah, I love that dress.
It flowed so well.
And
yes, and
I
actually.
Very tribal. It was very me. And nobody understands how hard it is to go into mood for like an hour. Even though it was an hour, it was still not a lot of time. Like, sometimes it takes a week to find, you know, what you need for a whole collection, but to just find that automatically was awesome. And I really actually love that dress. I'm going to bid on it because I want it back.
Yes, and I love how the model walked out. You could see the joy in her face, how much she loved wearing that dress.
I have the best models. They felt like, I think when somebody wears something they love, it shows.
It really shows, and you could see it.
Yeah, it really does show. Like when they're not uncomfortable, they don't feel awkward. Like they could have left there with those garments, and no one would have known they came from a fashion show. Like I don't feel like you have to be costumey or gimmicky to do a show.
And they don't
Everybody has a point of view, but some people think that that's what you have to do. That's not me. And I'm not ever going to break that ever.
It doesn't.
Be like other people because that's what people think you have to do.
It doesn't look like it's from a reality show. You know how certain clothes are like, oh, that looks like a student show at student work, or it looks like a reality show kind of a dress. Your clothes obviously look like they belong in New York Fashion Week. They look like they belong in Marie Claire magazine, Vogue magazine, Glamour magazine, everything. I mean, I'm not exaggerating when I say it belongs on the red carpet on any celebrity. I mean, it really is beautiful and stunning work. We're just huge fans, and we want to wear it all.
Love.
We want to wear it all.
Yes, we definitely need samples, okay? Because
we can bid on it next week.
Yes, I'm going to be bidding on it. And then
I think that will look good on you, Amanda, with your hair.
Oh my God, thank you. Was she the same
you
height?
It like after your wedding.
Yes, on the honeymoon. And then, oh my God, speaking of wedding, when that white dress came out on the second model, I was like, I'm wearing that to my rehearsal dinner.
See, totally work all that stuff.
I'll work it into my life, every piece. But I saw the model come out in the second dress, and she looks so happy again to be wearing it. I mean, I just, and then the cute little skirt comes out. I thought it was very cute how you did the pleats, and I love the top on that because on the model's right side of her body, the way the print looked, it was like almost like in line with the way the direction of the shirt was going.
That's cool. Thank you.
Really, really nice.
I could talk about this all day.
And, you know, the fourth piece that came out was the scarf dress.
The scarf dress.
With the belt. It was orange, purple,
so pretty.
And mini dress, which I loved. One of the judges did not, but we're not even going to go there.
The other two had scarves that matched their collection, and mine didn't. What was I supposed to do? You know what I mean? Like, seriously?
I thought it actually.
I thought it was a cute outfit, though.
I thought it fit in with your collection well. You know, a lot of collections have that one pop of color in the middle, like an unexpected piece to surprise and wow
That's
the people.
Why I threw it there, because it really didn't, you know, like you just threw this at the last minute. But it is what it is.
And the fifth outfit that came out was...
But one more thing about the scarf. It was actually one of my favorites.
Yes.
Yeah. I loved it. Okay. Yes.
The fifth outfit that came out was a chiffon dress. It was with big shoulder details, very light yellow. I loved, you know, every single piece of the collection. The sixth...
Oh, and I wrote, it was a very updated vintage.
Yes.
It looked like a modern take on like even a vintage fabric that even you found somewhere in a vintage shop and like recut the dress or something.
White? The white one?
No, this is the one that Chris, I believe Chris helped you with.
Well,
right?
It had the big shoulders with the little dots. What
very
were the
African inspired.
Yes.
What were the thing? Like I felt like out of all of the collections,
you stay true to your heritage.
Like it was inspired by what it was supposed to be.
Yes,
inspired by. Like no one. That was the challenge, but no one mentioned that at the end. Like that became like a non-factor.
I know. When Elena's collection came out, I was like, how does this represent Ukraine?
Because of the black colors, I guess. But
and our wonderful engineer.
I think Xana was the only one that actually pointed that out.
Yeah, our wonderful engineer, you know, made a couple of comments saying, you know, he walked in, he's like, this looks like a villain. What is she doing? You know,
with Elena's dress.
With Elena's, we were like, oh, okay.
But you know, that's what she was saying. Like, you know, for her season, this is the collection she always dreamt about doing. So it's almost like even though she had like got out of that, and this season she was doing new and innovative. Because if you look at her website, she's really amazing. Like,
she is really amazing.
She's done. It's awesome stuff. Like the stuff she had in Palm Springs, amazing.
Yes.
But it's almost like it was like that little girl growing up and wanting to do this thing, and she never got to do it, and then she finally gets to do it. It's like everything went out the door, and she's like, I'm doing that collection. That's why I was like, okay, sure, go ahead and do that. check.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
out.
yeah,
Now I have
exactly.
to worry about this fool over here. Yeah, because it's just like, they already said they didn't like it. Don't go backwards. You have to always go forward.
Well, the white suit came out next with I wrote like a wing-like sleeve, but how did you get inspired by the shape of those sleeves? What did that come from?
Just, like, because like I was saying, like when I was doing my inspiration, I wanted to take like inspiration from like those traditional African garments that we make.
Mm-hmm.
And those are kind of like some of the effects that we do. Like it's always about the upper body and like the little dots on that shift dress and the sleeves on there, and just adding stuff that's different. Because when you see a woman, we all have these mermaid skirts, so what makes it different is what's on top.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where it came from. They didn't really get it, but
Well, I thought it looked really expensive.
Very.
I thought it was hot too.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite was the last outfit that came out, the sleeveless short, the sleeveless.
jumpsuit?
I put
Yes.
dress.
Yeah, at first we wrote,
The jumpsuit ball gown.
dress, but it's a jumpsuit
With the-
ball gown.
And the draping on that is perfection. Oh my God, the way it fit her and
That
the
was
way
like my
the
last minute come to Jesus garment. Like
Oh.
literally, I made that on the last day. I'm surprised they didn't make it like a 2-hour, because they edited so much.
like a 2-hour finale.
So much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
I
was
would have
good.
liked
Like,
to
I
see
even had a
that.
breakdown that day, but I didn't make the cut, thank God.
Oh.
And can I say that you do an amazing job with the bust of, whatever outfit that you design, which is really, really crucial for females. You don't want to have either too much space in there or, too little where you feel like it's crushing, for some people who have, big breasts. So
How did you
Yeah.
make that fit so well? What did you use as far as techniques?
Is there
I actually
lining?
built like a bustier under there. There's actually like a bustier that holds you up. So even if you didn't want to wear a bra, it would still hold you up. But if you did, it still had that support. You know what I mean?
Perfect.
But the top part could probably just stand up on its own. It was actually like buckrams and just really, and it's cool because Christopher did the pattern for me. They didn't show that, but he actually
Aw.
patterned the top part of that for me
Oh, wow.
before he left.
Okay, well, that makes sense
Yeah.
now. A bustier underneath. I mean,
Amazing. I love
Yeah.
it.
the workmanship, too, or should we say workwomanship in that collection, you could see the beauty of it, and the execution was so impeccable.
Oh, that
And
is so sweet.
I mean, honestly, you can really tell clearly that you knew what you were doing. And, the other designers, they did a fine job with what they wanted to make, but you were far and away the winner in most people's eyes, I would say.
Definitely. And we know you're going to be doing bigger and better things later on. And this was, just, I know you already are, but this is, reality TV. And sometimes you need exposure, on reality TV. So I think it was a great
You gotta take it for what it is, and take it for what you can get from it and move forward. You know what I mean? It definitely brought me back out again for the next phase. I do have a GoFundMe account, so you guys can go out there and spread the news.
Oh, can
What was
you
that again? So you give us
GoFundMe.com.
GoFundMe.com. Okay.
And Kato, why don't you let everyone know where they can find you and on social media, and also your collection, where they can buy it?
You can go to my website, first place, www.katomomalu.com. First thing that'll pop up on Google. I'm on Twitter and Instagram as Kato Momalu, and fan page on Facebook, Kato Momalu. So you can definitely find me. I'm the only Kato out there doing fashion, so
And
it's easy, click.
and I know everyone knows this already, but I'm just going to reiterate. It's Korto. So if you guys type that
Yes,
in,
please.
Korto, you will know.
Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you so much for calling in. We've had a blast with you calling in and giving us the insight every single time, and hopefully we'll be able to bring you on for as an expert for future shows.
Under the gun, I know, right? That should be very interesting.
Yeah.
They asked me to do it, and I was like, well, I'm kind of pregnant right now, so I'm kind of interested to see how it goes. And
Oh, they asked you to be a mentor?
Yeah. But, I'm pregnant. I'm like, I don't know. And it was just like right after All Stars. Like, who wants to go into that?
Well, Korto, can you
Right
tell
after.
can you tell everybody, or I don't know if you're keeping this a secret even for yourself, but do you know if you're having a girl or a boy?
Oh, it's a boy.
Oh, nice. Baby
It's a boy.
Oh my gosh.
His name is Cameron, and he's due in April.
Oh, how cute.
Yeah, so that's my next project after Fashion Week. Is to have my baby. And
You're going to be designing his room and his clothes.
yes, exactly.
Mommy time.
You know.
Wow.
Yeah, he has no idea what he's about to get into. My poor daughter, she's like, oh my God. She's been through it. But,
Well,
yeah.
Congratulations again.
Congratulations, Korto.
And thank you so much for calling in. We will definitely
Thank
be
you,
in touch with
guys.
you.
And I can't wait for those Instagram pictures of that baby.
Yes, me neither. Thank you, sweetie.
Bye.
Thanks for all the love. Appreciate you guys. All
Thank you. Mwah. Well, that was incredible to talk to Korto, and it's really fun to hear her opinion on everything. And I think she's so elegant and graceful herself that comes out in her clothes. She handles everything with grace and dignity.
But to reiterate what she said, I was honestly going to bring it up and say she was the only one that stayed true to her heritage that I could see in the clothes. For the other two designers, I wasn't quite sure. Elena brought the same design over and over again, and I was so tired. The only reason I'm glad All Stars is finishing and it's over is that I don't have to see any more of Elena's designs.
Wow.
I'm tired of seeing her pattern, of seeing her neon colors, her,
neoprene.
Yes, and her, her cuts, and it's just too much. It's just, and with Seth Aaron, I was never a big fan because I never really noticed him in the competition up until the last couple of episodes where it was down to maybe 5-6 people. Then you're like, oh, okay, he's in the competition.
I feel like Korto's clothes are the only clothes that actually speak to people.
Yes.
When a woman walks out in one of her dresses, whether it's on a runway or at a beautiful event somewhere, people will stop and notice the beauty of the woman. And yes, you'll notice how beautiful the piece is that she's wearing, but the piece does not wear her. The woman stands out in the clothes. And that's what you want to achieve, I think, as a designer and as a woman with fashion. You want everything that you wear to just add to how great you look, instead of just everyone just notice my shirt, and not notice me. It's like, it's a perfect compliment to the woman.
You said the models were happy to wear her clothes because the models were the ones wearing the clothes versus the other designers. I feel like the clothes were wearing the model.
Yes, exactly.
So that's why you don't see that same shine. The models feeling happy when they come in, they're walking down the runway.
Well, I didn't really notice the other models.
Me neither.
You don't really see their face. You just are noticing, like, well, that jacket fits strangely. This dress is all over the place. But Korto, you're like, oh, that model is beautiful.
So, real quickly, I don't want to go through Elena's collection because I feel like it's the same thing over and over again.
It's
in
very
all
repetitive.
7 dresses. But let's go through Seth Aaron's real quickly.
Well, I just wanted to add for Elena, I mean, that first dress, it looked like a microscope of a disease. Like in that little, Petri dish. It just, when you zoom in on it, and it's like weird spots.
I can't believe she wanted that to be her final collection.
I don't
but
know.
We'll leave it at that.
Shock. It was a shock. And Elena, you're very talented. I respect your other work that you've done, but this collection I was not a fan of.
So with Seth Aaron's designs, the first piece
his
that
collection
comes
was
out,
called Olay.
The first piece that comes out is a black leather turtleneck dress, which was kind of weird.
Turtleneck without the rest of the turtleneck.
Exactly. And the back was good. I like the design in the back, but we've seen that dress. It wasn't anything special that stood out to me. But I could see, the skirt, how it would fit into the Spanish look.
I just felt like it was dominatrix on top and a little, sweet skirt on the bottom. I thought that the skirt could have been a better dress if it was more fitted and like really went there instead of it being just, okay, now we're going to do a fuller skirt.
Do you remember the black and red dress he did?
Yes.
I feel like that was a black version of the black and red dress he did.
We've seen it.
So the second piece that came out was a yellow one-piece leather sleeves jumpsuit with a low neckline. It was okay. I wasn't really a fan of the fit on the model, but maybe it could fit differently on someone else who's wearing it. So,
and here's the thing, it's supposed to fit the model impeccably. This is the point. It's a fashion show. You're able to edit everything and fit everything to each body. So it should be perfect.
Maybe that was the look he was going for because the shoulders were really big, but then everything else below the shoulders were just...
It wasn't really tight enough. It was like just there. But I really like the detail of the shoulders. That actually was exciting, I thought.
It was.
And I don't know, I felt like, okay, maybe this is a little bit more Spanish. I'm not sure though. I think I just felt that way because of the color.
Yes. So the third outfit that comes out is a white dress, very simple. But then when the model turns around during judging time, we see
the armhole detail.
The arm details, which was nice. And I actually like the white dress. I like the fit, the comfortable look.
Honestly, it stood out the most because it looks so beautiful on her, very wearable and fun. And I think it was even an ostrich leather. The little dots.
I couldn't make what fabric it was, but it could have been because he stuck to leather.
It had the appearance of that at least. It had the little dots that the ostrich leather would have. And I don't know, even though he was sticking to leather, I didn't feel like it all worked out to be like a cohesive collection. It was like kind of a weird combination. I wrote down, the models had Judy Jetson hair. They had glasses, like a sexy secretary, and then the clothes were a little fetishy dominatrix. So it was like, where are you, Seth Aaron? Who are you designing for? Who is this woman? Because at one point she's, going to a cute cocktail party, and another point she's like getting ready to whip someone.
Well, at least they weren't all the same haircuts like Elena. They all look like, it was
they all look like Elena
in a different hair color.
Yes, but I did admire that he did the little red lip because he had the red coat and it was like tying one little thread to tie the collection together, a red lip with the red coat.
So the fourth outfit was a scarf skirt, leather. It was a scarf leather skirt with a leather collar.
So he used the scarf as a dress in another look, and this was like, I felt like this was like, oh, I have to make another outfit. Let's throw this on. And he had like a harness necklace. It was like a turtleneck shaped necklace and pieces of leather that were like hanging down on her shoulder.
Just bizarre.
It just looked like it was thrown on. Like, oh, we'll put this on. We'll put this on. Let's just do a black pencil skirt. Oh, whatever. Like, okay, next. Just move to the next part of the collection already.
As we got an insight, it didn't really work out with his helpers, so that could have been what the problem.
Maybe that was Jeffrey's outfit.
Well, he
made.
That is a good, actually. That now that I think of it, I'm thinking maybe it is.
He didn't have the construction skills of the rest of them, and I mean, he has some good ideas and interesting points of view. Honestly, like I really like.
At least he didn't cover the face this time. So okay, let's go on to the fifth outfit. We had a lace net one-piece leather on the right side.
I don't know
what
if it was
the hell was this?
It was his version of lace. It was laser cut neoprene net like. Jumpsuit.
Okay, let's
with like a black
out of the sea
bodysuit underneaf.
We're not even gonna go, comment on this. It was horrible when the model turned around.
I am gonna comment on it. I am gonna comment on it because all you could stare at was her bum. You could not look at it. It's like there's her butt. Because she had it was like a black leotard underneath this, just for like modesty reasons or who knows. But like, I don't know if that was part of the design or she was like, I need to wear a leotard or a swimsuit or something.
I really hope that's not how they dress in Spain. But
oh my God, I don't think anyone in Spain would wear that. I don't think anyone anywhere would wear that, except for that
Britney
poor
Spears,
model that
Vegas.
had to. Yeah, I said it looks like a costume. It doesn't go with the rest of the collection, but it could work on stage in Las Vegas.
Halloween, he would be a great Halloween
Oh my God.
costume designer.
Oh, no.
Okay, the 6th outfit was the scarf dress.
Yes. Oh, Olay. So it was actually a nice use of print. I like the way that the print of the scarf came together in the middle of the front of the model.
And the back.
The back, and okay, I've seen that trick before of using a necklace backwards, and you let the necklace hang down her back instead of the front.
I think maybe he was trying to distract the leather crunching up in the
the
back.
bad fitting leather on the back, or pleather, we don't know, but it was just a big bunch, and they didn't even really comment on that. They said that dress was
loved
nice.
it. They loved the back.
What was going on there? You didn't. If it was Michael Kors, he would have something to say about the back of that dress.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
I'm surprised Tahari was. I'm sure he had something to say as well. So
yeah, I think a lot of these designers may have been interviewed at the fashion show that attended it. Eli Tahari, the designer from Marni, they were talking about the talent of the designers, and maybe they were talking about one specific person. But the last dress of Seth's collection was actually a coat, and this actually was one of my favorites of his, but it didn't look like anything else that came out. It was a different kind of fabric. It was like a
but that's what he started off with.
He did. He started off with that and the black first look, didn't he?
Yes.
First and
then I think everything else was just,
filler
for what he had coming. So we had a lot of good and bad insight from the judges, and so the judges, of course, Georgina, Isaac Mizrahi. We had Zach Posen and Gail King,
who is possibly Oprah's lover.
Editor of Oprah magazine.
Magazine.
So, all the designers did a great job. They brought the designers out after they consulted who was going to be the winner. And, of course, Selena is second runner-up. What nice way to put
Yeah, we're
that.
like, oh, nice of you to say second runner-up instead of, okay, go, you're eliminated. You're not the winner.
And with the unanimous decision, Seth
Unanimous?
Aaron,
I don't think
quote that.
Unanimous, yeah, right.
Seth Aaron is the winner of All Stars.
I can't even believe that you're saying that out loud, that's a real statement.
I had to tweet Korto before we came on the show and say, even though we hadn't watched it yet, I said, whatever happens, you're, the winner for me, because I think she's done an amazing job. And we're not
so memorable.
We're not trying to be mean to any of the other designers. Everyone has their favorites. We're just here to give our opinions, and people can agree or disagree with it, but it's just basically an opinion. And I'm sure Seth Aaron has done a great job, or he's designing great outfits, which under the pressure you might not do the same work that you would on your own free time.
Well, I think Seth Aaron has really shown that he has maintained a good workmanship and design level since he's won his season. So he definitely knows what he's doing. He's a fantastic designer. He really knows silhouettes. I think he's good at doing silhouettes and shapes of dresses, especially that white leather that just floated away effortlessly from the model's body. Who wouldn't want to wear that little dress? But congratulations to Seth Aaron, but also congratulations to Korto and all of the designers from Project Runway All Stars 3.
Thank you guys so much for watching us. We're really sad this season has ended. I am your host, Emma Kay, and you guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at RealEmmaK. Don't forget to shop on to emmakscloset.com. And where can they find you, Amanda?
And you guys can find me, Amanda Fields, on Twitter and Instagram at The Runway Queen. We'll see you next week for Under the Gun.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.